Welcome to Wellness Rebranded.
We know there is so much conflicting health and fitness advice out there.
And you're tired of the wellness fads, endless diets, and impossible standards that make you feel like nothing you do is ever enough.
You're ready to tune into your mind and body and feel empowered around health.
We're the Healing Trio, here to help you redesign your relationships with food, fitness, and yourself.
I'm Elizabeth, registered dietitian and certified intuitive eating counselor.
I'm Maria, licensed mental health therapist.
And I'm Tara, personal trainer.
Together, we're changing the narrative on health away from diet culture, hustle culture, and toxic positivity and towards healthful self-care.
So grab your water bottle, get ready to laugh, learn, and grow.
And let's start rebranding your wellness journey.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wellness Rebranded. This is Maria speaking, and I'm here with Elizabeth and Tara. And today we have a very nice guest. This is a fellow life coach. We have Jillian Seibel Pawlowski with us. She is a trauma-informed certified transformation coach. She specializes in radical self-love. I love that. And the unification of mind and body. And I also love that she calls herself the Dream-Worthy Life Coach. What a great name. And Jillian, welcome. Thank you for accepting this invite.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Yay. Hello.
We are excited to have you. By the way, I met Jillian not long ago, even though we're both trained life coaches, and we didn't meet during our training. We train at different times. But we met because we were both speakers at a conference for coaches. So we got to listen to each other speaking. And I remember thinking, who is this coach? I loved the way that she presented the information, and I found it so helpful. And she seemed so authentic in how she presented that day that I'm like, I need to get to know her. So then we talked for a while, right? And then here we are. And I've been following her work since then. So I am very happy and grateful to bring her to our listeners. So welcome again. And tell us a little bit about yourself, Jillian, what you do and what does being a dream-worthy life coach means.
Thank you so much, Maria. That was beautiful. I receive all of that. Thank you. So I am the Dream-Worthy Life Coach. It's my coaching business that I opened. And I create safe spaces for women to cultivate an unshakable sense of wholeness, worthiness, and enoughness so that they can stop abdicating their power and befriend their fear and step into their limitlessness and actualize all of their dreams, right? So therein kind of lies the definition of dream worthy, that you are whole, you are enough, and you are worthy of all of your dreams. As soon as you acknowledge your wholeness, boom, you're ready. Your power is already within you.
Yes, I love that. And you know what? You use the words unshakable and limitless. And those are two really important words for me because most people feel that their worth is not unshakable. It's actually very depending sometimes or conditioned to other things. And therefore, we put a lot of limits into what we can do or how we can be because of that, right?
Yeah, and that's where, kind of subconscious transformation comes in from the third trimester until maybe you're about 7 years old. And even thereafter, our mind assigns meaning to the life experiences we have, right? This is good, that is bad, this is safe, this is unsafe, this is valuable, and as a child or a developing human being, we don't really have the wisdom to choose what meaning things are. So, now as the wiser, older version of yourself, you can kind of take a look at your beliefs, which are subconscious in your body, your feelings, this kind of subconscious programming that life gifted you or that you developed. And you can now kind of choose again and reprogram that and relearn from a place of empowerment and a place of limitless belief in yourself.
I love how you stated that. Everything you just said parallels so perfectly what the work that I do with clients, but I wanted to kind of a lot of unlearning and then relearning a different way to show up, specifically with food and body in my case. But first of all, I just wanted to call out, I loved the way that you accepted Maria's compliment in the beginning. I think that is such a beautiful gift to model for everyone. It's so common to sort of be self-deprecating, but just to simply say I receive it, I thought that was really powerful. And
I
then
love
also,
that too. It's so uncommon to hear somebody just be like, "Oh, I love that. I receive it. Thank you." And then move on, you know?
But it shouldn't be. That's the whole, it should not be. Because when you start believing that people think good things about yourself and that they can tell you and you can just receive it and take it and it's such an important work to do rather than pooping on everything people say about you,
well, and
Which is,
also
It felt like you
accepting,
internalized it,
I
you
know.
know? Like you believed it also,
Yes.
which is gorgeous.
and also accepting that you're worthy of that compliment, right? Which is your whole message.
Yeah, radical self-love is radical self-acceptance. And so whether or not you even agree with what people are saying, the beginning point really is while you're receiving a compliment or kudos, like breathe, make it safe in your body to receive love and positive affirmations. And then when they're finished, say thank you and practice receiving that. So that's one way you can incorporate the conscious mind and the subconscious mind by inviting the body to the party, breathe, and then vocalize, I receive that. And that's a practice that you get to go on.
Yeah, thank you so much for modeling that for us. So I'm really intrigued about how you got here. Can you tell us a little bit about your story and what brings you to this work?
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you for that question. It started off with, my own development, right? So there were a couple darker decades of my life where I was riddled with limiting beliefs and self-doubt. I specifically remember being a child and there was a project in school. What do you want to be when you grow up? And you make it out of construction paper and stick a picture of your face on it. And even then, I thought, well, I want to be a singer. And then the immediate second thought was, well, you're not talented enough to do that. You're not special enough to do that. And so the struggle began there, right? With me not believing that I can do anything I want, that I can choose. And it's these limiting beliefs that I, unbeknownst to myself at the time, right, struggled with for decades. And as a developing young adult or teenager, I tried my hand at various things in the workforce, right? I tried to fit a square peg into round holes, just kind of jamming myself into whatever I thought I should be doing. And it did not come from a place of creation, of I am a limitless, energetic being having a human experience and I get to love what I do, but rather I'm not worthy enough to do anything I want to, or I'm not special, or, so on and so forth. So that aligned me to spiritual healing modalities. I've always loved personal and professional development, so I always dabbled. And eventually it led me to the first time investing in a coach. And it revolutionized the way I treat myself, feel about myself, and feel in my everyday life. And it gave me so much empowerment. I'm in real time witnessing all of my dreams come true as a result of reprogramming my subconscious to believe in myself and to love myself and accept myself and let it be that simple and let it blossom from there. And so now it really is my honor and privilege and responsibility to share that light and that love with others and be that mirror and soundboard as a coach to remind people something somewhere along the way. It seems we all forget that you're already enough and you are worthy and you are capable. And so then what do you want to do? And start those coaching conversations.
Yes, yes, and yes. And I loved, I had to write it down. I love when you say revolutionize the way you treat yourself.
I wrote that down also.
But you did. I
That's so
love that.
powerful. I think a lot of times, especially as mothers in motherhood, like we come last or we come behind other people. So revolutionizing the way we treat ourselves will probably have this profound effect. If we could get the entire world to do that, like I think the world would truly be a better place because of it.
Mhm,
Do I
mhm,
think we can get the entire world to do that is a different question. But I think it starts with us, right?
mhm.
Starts with us.
Yeah, modeling that for the world, like you said earlier, like model it for them because people do see. But you know what they see is the way you treat yourself and the way you radiate this energy. And if that energy comes from self-love and self-worth and self-care, that's modeled. And it's not like do as I say, not as I do. That doesn't work.
Mhm.
We need the leaders, the mothers, the parents, the teachers to model the self-care so that they can show up in the energy that it requires to make the impact that we want to make.
Mhm.
I love, love, love that thought and wholeheartedly agree. So what was that you mentioned? I forget the exact phrasing that you used, but sort of unprogramming, I think you said. What was that journey like for you of reprogramming? How did you do it?
Yeah. So it started with really being asked, well, what do you want? Who do you want to become? And what do you want? And that was a really challenging, confronting question because until that point, I had never thought about what I wanted for myself, nor given myself the authority to decide what was right for me and what I wanted. It was always, well, what do you want me to do? Or what does society say I should be doing? So that was kind of step one, is creating the vision, designing what I want and who I want to become and how I want to feel. And then the fun part is when you poke holes in that, when you think about this and you dream like audaciously and bigly and like juicy, huge desires, right? This is what you're calling in. And then as you go through that vision, the limiting beliefs pop up in a powerful coaching session where you say, you feel safe enough to acknowledge, well, I'm not going to be any good at that, or that's not possible or reasonable or rational. So then the next part is acknowledging your own limiting beliefs and limiting perspectives, limiting narratives that your brain offers you when it's afraid of this giant vision that you're creating. And then from that, healing, reprogramming yourself with the empowering beliefs that you get to choose. You get to choose. You see these disempowering beliefs that you've recognized and acknowledged. And then you think about that beautiful person in your vision and you say, well, my brain's feeding me these disempowering thoughts over here. What does she think? What does that person in my vision feel? What does she know is the truth about her wholeness, enoughness, limitlessness, etc.? So then you create the empowering beliefs and then kind of practice those and align to those. They're like the North Star.
Hey there, it's Elizabeth. I'm going through my clients' weekly check-in forms and I literally cannot stop smiling to myself. I love seeing when they say that they are eating foods they haven't allowed themselves to eat in years, that they're enjoying it guilt-free, when they tell me how much more in control they feel of their eating, of their food choices, that they're connecting and respecting their hunger and fullness cues, or in the words of one of them, that they're just having so much more fun, feeling normal around food, especially knowing that they have these tools as we head into the holiday season. If you would also like to channel that feel-good eating energy, avoid a regret-fueled January food hangover that sends you rushing for the nearest diet, and rack up easy and simple self-care wins between now and New Year's, I invite you to check out my new email program. It's called Intuitive Eating Through the Holidays, and I will send you a very simple, very fast daily tip via email from Thanksgiving straight through to Christmas to help you eat intuitively, sidestep toxic diet culture, and feel connected to your body, along with some other really cool bonuses and goodies in this program. It's just $67. You can sign up now at the link in the show notes or visit elizabethharrisnutrition.com/feel good holiday eating. And there's a dash in between each of those last words. So elizabethharrisnutrition.com/feel-good-holiday-eating. I really hope to see you there and cannot wait to help you feel fab about food and yourself this holiday season. I don't know what I love more. Our listeners can't see you, but you are the epitome of embodiment. Like, I can visibly watch you keep dropping into your body, and really being at one with your body. And I, as someone who tries to teach people how to do that, I just really appreciate it and love it. And then your message is just so inspiring and contagious, I think, that I just love it.
And FYI, she's just like that as a speaker live. You know, she takes her time to just take it in and take her deep breaths. And you as a listener, you're there watching her. I'm like, and you're like, I need to take a deep breath too, to take in all this good, like she gives you that chance to just pause, which we don't usually do, right? And so important to pause when you are giving an important message or receiving it. There's no rush or certain way of doing it.
Did you guys notice that when she like took a breath and put her hand on her chest, we all three kind of went like this and took a deep breath too?
I didn't, but that is interesting.
I did, I paused. Now, Jillian, you know, I've always noticed, or I many times I think that we are growing into, not growing, but we have grown up into a society that puts a lot of connection between how our worth is dependent on what we do or how others see us or our weight or appearance. I was reading somebody on Instagram not long ago on this other account that I follow, and this person was saying, telling somebody that they are great just the way they are is going to discourage growth. And I'm thinking, wow, what a very specific perception of what worth is. But we many times think that your worth, again, is conditioned to how you are as a mother, or if you're successful or not in your work, or how much money you make. And I've learned with years and my own work that that is not true, that your worth as a human being, the worth of your existence is just something you are born with, right? That you are actually valuable and worthy of love and respect, regardless of how you perform or how you look, or, you know, any of that. Just by existing is just a powerful and very important thing. When we understand that, not only we start showing up differently, but also our boundaries and how we allow others to support this showing up in our own worlds is going to affect. So I remember on your talk, which for our listeners, you're going to have a link on the show notes so you do not miss this talk that you can watch now on YouTube of Jillian talking about this. You mentioned something that I loved about all the things that need to happen for us to be here. And you were talking about our ancestors. And when you said that, I'm like, damn, no kidding. Like all the things that needed to happen for me to be me. The Maria with the accent, with her ups and down days, and the one who comes with the experience that I come because I grew up where I grew up, and I've met the people that I've met, and I've gone through the personal or not work in my life. I mean, the world has 8 billion people. There's no other Maria Winters or Jillian or Tara or Elizabeth in the whole entire world. When you see it like that, it's like, damn it, you will never experience Maria unless you hang out with me. There's no other way
I'm sad you left incredible dancer off your list.
Excuse
And
me, let's
karaoke
rewind.
star.
Incredible dancer, funny, talented. Oh, but also with not only with the good things, also with the things that are in progress. There's no other person in the world that is going through the successes and the works in progress that you are going through. So when she explained it like that in that talk, it really, after all these years of doing this work, listening to it that way was like, wow, there is a reason why we're here. So if you could tell us, I know people are going to watch it on YouTube and all that, because I encouraged all of you to do it. But please tell us a little bit about that. Everything that all that needs to happen for us to be here. Why it makes us a miracle, like you said.
You said it so well, Maria. Amazing. I love that reflection. And I also want to just re-say, your inherent worthiness. It's your birthright. That was gorgeous. And we can't model or say it enough, that your worthiness, your special uniqueness is your birthright. You're born with it. Nothing outside of you gets to contribute or take away from that. But anyway, not only are there 8 billion people on the planet living and you're the only you, but life on Earth is 3.7 billion years old, and you're the only you there ever was and ever will be. And if you think about everything that had to go just right and everything that had to go just wrong, everything that happened, all of these small things, someone missed a bus, someone dropped a train ticket, you hear all those stories of the butterfly effect, right? All of that happened for 3.7 billion years, and it resulted in you. You exactly as you are, like you said, Maria, in all of your strengths and all of your flaws. You're a full spectrum of humanity and wisdom and emotion and personality. You are amazing. The epic unified movement of everything ever produced you. And you're the only you that ever was or will ever will be. You are a completely unique expression of this life force energy that on planet Earth has been going on for 3.7 billion years. And so you are a complete, unique gift, and your life is a gift. I think something we talked about earlier is the human part of that is that sometimes we forget, and that's okay. We talking head rush around and hustle for our worth and live from the neck up, feeling this pressure to produce or perform. And I step in with an invitation to check in with your true self, who you are beneath all of your accolades and your job and your hobbies and your relationship to others, but reconnecting with the miracle that you are. The fact that you're alive is amazing. You are amazing. Well done just for being here.
I love that. And you're so inspirational when we hear you speak, but I'm curious how, and someone can be listening or we can be listening to you and we feel really great right in this moment, right? Hearing you say all that and remembering and reconnecting to it. But what are the ways that you encourage people to continue to connect with that and continue to remember that and live in that truth as they go about their normal lives when problems are happening and you're getting frustrated and maybe you do have a moment where you don't feel great for whatever reason, or you're busy, or just how do you coach people through that process? What tips can you share?
Beautiful question. And the beautiful miracle that you are, this is not an excuse to positivity bypass any negative feelings. This true love is acknowledging and accepting that in the human experience, we do get to experience a wide range of emotions. So first of all, I just wanted to say, like, if you're not feeling super fantastic, A++ all the time, that's beautifully okay. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You do not need to be fixed. Remember, you're whole. You're enough. You are beautiful exactly how you are. Okay, so then from that, how do we align towards remembering the truth of who we are, that we are a miracle? A couple things I want to say about that is, there comes a time where sometimes enough is enough and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So one thing you get to do is then decide and commit. It is a decision to change, to learn, to grow, to heal, to expand. That's a choice, and a powerful choice. And so you can choose to be the creator of your own destiny, and you can choose to do the healing and growing and expanding so that you can align towards that North Star of feeling how you want to feel. A practical takeaway is something that I did early on in the beginning of my journey. Was I wrote, "You are enough," on every mirror in my house, and it's still on my bedroom mirror to this day. So that way I'm reminded. That's practical, and it's beautiful, and it works. And it's not enough to set the alarms on your phone, right, to remind you every 4 hours that you are enough. Rather, the open-mindedness and the willingness to change, because it is a growth edge, right? And then committing to that, part of my commitment or my practice, because you don't just poof, wake up and you're a new version of yourself. It's a practice. It's a beautiful journey that you get to decide to go on. And I would sit every morning in a meditation or a breathing practice and incant into my body, I am enough. I'd write it out. I'd read it. I'm practicing all of these different ways that neuroscience shows it's good for creating new neural pathways, reprogramming your subconscious beliefs. And then I visualize myself feeling enough, whole, worthy. That's another beautiful embodiment practice to continue to demonstrate to your body what it feels like to feel that you are enough. And then the last thing I'll say about that is, your brain is so neuroplastic, my love. You can change, you can learn, you can grow, and there are endless, ceaseless resources available for free. Go online, do some research, call a friend, read a book. There's so many various modalities of support, healing, growth. I see 3 specialists, 4 including myself, on this call right now. Listen to the podcast. Start to investigate. Start to invest in the life that you want, which includes, probably most importantly, the feelings that you want to feel.
I agree. And to piggyback on that, yes, like you guys were saying at the beginning, there's a lot of unlearning and relearning, and really understanding that this is a truth, that this is something that we can practice. And like you said, it's not going to happen from one day to the other. Self-acceptance and self-love is a journey that can take some time. But the promise is that once you start that journey, it is very rewarding to understand this, and the relationship with yourself can really change for the better, and many things in your life can change. Jillian, I am so grateful that you accepted this invitation today, that you were here with us today. I feel that this episode already in itself is one of those episodes that we might have to listen to every now and then as a reminder of all this information, because also the brain works with repetition. The more we get into a topic and we repeat something, we start digging more into it and maybe finding ways to experience this, what we're proposing with this episode. So I feel, or even if you're having like a down day, this is a good episode to listen to, and then remember that even going through that, or even if you just lost your job or you're going through a hard moment, has nothing to do with your worth and your value, and all the things that you deserve.
I was just going to say, we didn't plan it this way, but I feel like this episode is a holiday gift to our listeners, because it's just a message that everyone needs to hear, and we don't hear it often enough. And it's really a gift to hear you speak so eloquently and passionately about it, and to not just speak about it, but to embody it and model it and like throw that energy back out into the world. So I personally am on a mission to make sure that this episode airs really, really soon, so that we can get it into people's hands. Kind of, I don't know why, it just feels like a gift over the holiday season.
I agree.
So
it really is perfect timing.
Mm-hmm. So Jillian, please share with our listeners, how can they find you? Again, on the show notes, you're going to have the links to your social media pages and the YouTube video for your talk. But please share here, how can people find out more about you or get connected with you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I love this podcast, and so it was an honor and such a pleasure to be here. I had so much fun. And yeah, the listeners are encouraged and welcomed to follow me on Instagram. And a gift I wanted to give your listeners of Wellness Rebranded was a free coaching session with me. If that feels aligned, if they want a little bit more deepening on it, they're welcome to send me a message. Code name Wellness Rebranded. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
There you go. Double gift, the episode and a session. How about that? Okay, so for again, it's going to be in the show notes, but what is your Instagram handle, Jillian?
Dream Worthy Life Coach. No spaces, no symbols, just Dream Worthy Life Coach.
All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you everyone for listening. This is your gift of this week, this amazing talk and a free session. We hope to connect with all of you on our next episode of Wellness Rebranded. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Jillian.
Thank you.
And for all our listeners in the Annapolis area, I'm going to have next year something called the Emotional Fitness Studio. It's going to be 24 wellness workshops throughout the year. And Jillian is one of my speakers of one of those workshops. So if you're in the area, please visit my website, thecoachingtherapist.com. All the information is going to be there soon. It's going to be accessible tools that we can get in person. And Jillian, I'll see you there next year. And it's a pleasure to have you here and there and everywhere.
Wow, Maria, what a teaser. This is the first time hearing about that, but I can't wait to learn more.
Me too. And I'm so excited.
Love the name also.
It's so good that I've kept it a secret from you, I guess. I'm kidding. You'll know soon.
You keep us on our toes.
Thank you for listening. If you want to connect with me outside of this podcast, you can find me on Instagram at coaching_therapist.
I'm Elizabeth. You can find me at Elizabeth Harris Nutrition or in my Facebook group, Health and Healing with Intuitive Eating.
And I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Tara De Leon Fitness. Guys, if you loved this episode or any of our other episodes, we would love it if you would leave us a review on Apple Podcast. It really, really helps us get the non-diet word out to the rest of the world. So please leave us a review.
Yes, thank you.